You know what day it is today? Are you guessing what? Are you feeling what day it is? Tell them, Flame.
Today is TLF, it is Friday, baby, and we are talking tanks in Mythic Plus, ranking them based on Warcraft logs, subcreation, Raid.io. Pretty much everybody that's doing high keys right now has contributed indirectly to the data that's gone into this. Now, this is mostly objective. It's not opinion-based.
No, it's very objective. And listen, things have changed from the last tier list we did a month ago, and you're gonna see some shakeups over there. Some specs rose up, some has fallen down, but overall, just to put it out there, any tank on this list can do very well if you're planning to do, I don't know, 20, 21 keys.
I think they're all clearing 28s and higher right now.
Well, yeah, I'm just being, I'm for the people, man, for the general people over there. Even, I mean, if we're talking 15s to 20s, no problem. You can play whatever tank you want. It's gonna be just fine. But you cannot play your tank without some proper add-ons. And the best way to get your add-ons is through CurseForge, the sponsor of this video and the sponsor of this channel, I would say for almost 2 years now, and we had a great relationship with them. And you know why? Because the product is great, the app is stable, and by the way, you don't have to use Overwolf anymore to get it. There's a standalone app right now for CurseForge, and you can use it to get new add-ons, you can use it to update your existing add-ons, not to mention the fact that they are like fixing and tweaking the app, I would say on a weekly basis.
Constantly.
Tremendous job on just making sure that the quality of life things are getting into there. And I would say, like, even for the add-on creators, this platform has been really good because they're actually getting paid, and we get to have much more cooler add-ons and, well, I would say more often updated. So it's a win-win for everybody.
It's pretty good.
We cannot recommend CurseForge enough, guys. Check the link in the description to go in and download it, and also you're gonna find there the add-ons that we use in all of our videos as well. So you get the app and our add-ons. What else do you want? I know what you want. You want us to talk about Blood Decay. Let's go, Flame. Let's talk about
Blood Decay. And Blood Decay has been the bee's knees, the cheese, the big kahuna this entire season, and it still remains the king all the way up into S tier. It's really good, even after the scary nerfs that has been reduced, kind of, because it was a little bit stupid. The damage was actually stupid.
I know.
However, with the nerfs in place, because I know maybe a lot of people are curious about that, it's still really good. Dude, I have tanked yesterday a queue with Blood Decay, and I started crying because I realized it's so much better than my main Pro Warrior, man.
It's my Pro Warrior is gonna get there.
It's stupid. It's really good. It's about time, and I've said it time and time again. If Blood Decay is ever going to become the #1 tank, it's gonna be oppressively strong, and it is oppressively strong. It's really good.
It is in your face. Now, I did want to ask, because I'm not that familiar with Blood Decay, but okay, the damage was all great and all of that.
It's still really good. It's way higher than.
How about its survivability? I remember when trying to heal you as a Blood Decay, until I got used to it, I was always afraid when you were dipping low and you were like super relaxed.
This is an interesting
change. We
need
to point this out, man.
Because Blood Decay right now operates very heavily around the Dancing Rune weapon cooldown, which you can extend it with the tier set when you hard strike, and especially this applies way more in AoE when you're constantly getting attacked and you're lashing out with hard strikes from your tier set. This means that during your Dancing Rune weapon, where you're pretty much ignoring your runic power and you're just slapping those hard strikes, you're kind of not taking any damage. You're occasionally you're feeling like a Pro Warrior, where your HP doesn't actually bounce that much. Sometimes it dips a little bit, pop a hard death strike, and that's about it. But likely you're just gonna need little trickles of healing, and you're doing the massive amounts of damage.
I get it. Okay, fair enough. But now let's move on to the Brewmaster.
Let's
chug it. Brewmasters who have been performing pretty decently, I would say, overall. I think I've seen a couple in MDI as well.
It's always a really good tank.
I mean, damage, really good. Survivability, really good. Mobility and utility, really good. There's no denying. It's not really S tier in terms of like the number of keys these specs have done, but it's very close. I would say it's a very strong candidate to A tier. Yeah. Maybe it could be S tier, I don't know, but we still have
it's A tier. There's a clear difference, and I think the rise of the Brewmasters mostly in the advent of people not playing Windwalker as much, since you know, you have better DPS than Windwalker right now. This is basically talking at like the +30 level, all right? Windwalker's still good. But Brewmaster is also amazing. All those monk tools. You might still struggle a little bit against like those heavy Halls of Atonement bolts of magic, of wickeds, of shit. But outside of that, Brewmaster has always been and continue to be one of the most solid tanks in the game.
Yeah, all right. Now, one spec that is up next that has been bumped up from the last tier list that we did from C to B tier is the Guardian Druid, and I'm happy for the bears. Because okay, we kind of know the bears at the beginning were kind of like melting everything around, and they're still melting a lot. And now I love bears because I always felt the bear is the people's tank. Like if you want to get into tanking, I feel there's no, I would say, easier initiation into the world of tanking.
It helps you keep shit hitting your face, and it helps you not die when shit is hitting your face.
The fantasy of it, you're a big, cuddly bear, and you just can take it to the face.
Yeah, that's what bears are known for, and what you will be known for is playing Venthyr this time around, because with Ravenous Frenzy and Incarnation, you are immortal. The Ursak Fury, remembered, makes you legit immortal. There's no such thing as affixes anymore. There's no such thing as damage. You just spam Thrash. It's a little bit silly. It's a little bit fun. Hey, Destro can press Rain of Fire. You can press Thrash. Who cares? And the damage is just fucking nuts, man.
I know. I saw it, man. And it gets the job done, period. There's not like too much into it, but this is, I think the main drawback of it is because, Ravenous is on a 3-minute cooldown, Incarnation, you're gonna
kind
be
of reliant on to be fair.
Yeah, you need that all the time indeed. And this is, I would say, like, if there is a drawback to Guardian, it's just this, you cannot be immortal all the time, but once you are immortal and deal massive amount of damage.
Exactly. When you're immortal, you're fucking immortal.
Yeah. Okay, now, the soldier of the light, the protector of the honorable, and not really, Prot Paladin,
the one that doesn't need a healer in his keys. What? Smoke is a crazy bastard, but that doesn't matter because Prot Paladin is a solid B tier, right behind Brewmasters.
I would say A tier, my friend. No, this is A tier.
Oh, it's A tier, right,
yes,
right.
A tier.
It's the same thing.
We give justice to the Paladin.
I said what you did there.
But man, Prot Paladin is like the Swiss Army knives of tanks. I would say it will have an ability or a cooldown for basically each and every situation. It is one of the highest APL tanks currently because you do have to know how, when, and in what order to press stuff. But man, is it rewarding, and it's still flashy. It's really still fun to play. I mean, okay. You can talk about, Blood Decays being super, super oppressive in terms of like their damage or whatever, their survivability. I would say the difference is like a Prot Paladin can also bring in a lot of like save me now because I'm dying, sacrifice Bob, off heals, all of that.
Prot Paladin doesn't have like a cheesy thing to it.
It needs the work.
It's just solid. Yeah. It's just solid. Back in season in 9.1.5, it was the tankiest tank. It was #1. It still retained obviously stackiness, and it's even better right now. And the damage is crazy, and all the utility and the
heals
are probably like the best.
You can see like the Prot Paladins really shine on keys where like the spells actually work, like Plague Fall and the Necrotic Wake and Tear of Pain and all of that.
You can make Plague Fall your bitch play Prot Paladin today.
Yeah, boy. But what about our Lord and Savior Prot Warrior, Flame?
Warrior.
Take the stage,
damn it. All right, Prot Warrior is
doing
doing way better than people like to think. It's still
I'm holding it on
the
this
B tier. It's slightly better than Bear, which makes me slightly happy.
But look, no.
Yeah, I'm afraid not, my friend. I'm afraid not. However, being in B tier as a Prot Warrior, if you're playing Necro and the Forset, clearly you are a rock. It's very hard for you to die outside of those constant magic damage bolts that are coming in. If you can hold your banner up, you have a major influx of rage, which is constantly spent on ignore pains, giving you some much needed sustain. So it's really good, and you can swap in. If you're doing lower keys, if you just want to have some fun, you can do a lot more damage with Seismic Legendary and stuff like that. But Prot Warrior is very solid. It's very solid. The tier bonus tier set is not that strong for Prot Warrior like it is for other tanks, but it's mannered, man. It's well mannered. It's a well mannered tank, right? You're not doing stupid things.
I would have expected this for Prot Warriors, to be honest. And again, if you look at this whole result here, you don't see C or D tier just because, like, regardless of the drawbacks or let's say the weaknesses of some of these specs, when we're talking 30 plus keys, that's where you're going to start ranking them, because to be fair, as we said in the beginning, all of these tanks can do well in, let's say, medium competitive keys.
Medium to high content, these tanks perform like crazy. People are taking it to a whole new level. It's really good right now.
So now, For the second time, or I think the third time in our tier list, we have another S tier. Vengeance is back on S tier.
I did not expect this. However, I have seen it coming for a week or so. People have been using it in MDI for a while right now. Vengeance is really good. Now, there is a little bit of a caveat to Vengeance. Obviously, it does have a lot of burst damage, which is really good. Outside of your main cooldowns, you're still not tanky as a Vengeance, but since there's this heavy meta on Destro Warlocks, and you're probably not gonna want Havoc if you're pushing the highest of keys, that's probably when you slide in a Vengeance Demon Hunter.
Yeah, Vengeance Demon Hunter, they were kind of already known for their massive AoE damage, on top of the fact that they have really good tools to keep mobs in place, which I would see it in a couple of high keys that, this is some necessity, especially for specs like this. Astrologs or Frost Mages or whatever, who need those, or Frost Decays, mind you, who need a lot of mobs
frost damage,
up.
yeah, and you need that debuff from the Demon Hunter, which is really good.
Yes, the Chaos Brand is also really useful. Plus, I still believe like it's one of the most mobile tanks, if not the most mobile in the game.
It's probably the most mobile. Yeah. It's kind of close with Brewmaster. Who knows who's more mobile?
I mean, I think it has a lot of similarities to Guardian in the sense that outside of its cooldown, not that it's very weak, but it's definitely not as impactful as within the cooldowns, right?
So, Demon Spikes are still like a very strong and yet still not enough defensive cooldown, but we'll see exactly. It doesn't matter. It's S tier.
It's S tier, but I feel
what are you gonna say?
Yeah, again, we're gonna get into discussion. The S tier specs are usually the ones that can deal like ridiculous amounts of damage, especially in AoE, because that's kind of like
it's kind of what matters at the highest level of keys, because like there's only so much you can tank at one point. Things need to die.
But I'd say the distribution on this one, especially after a month since we did the last one, and things have changed. Like again, Prot Warrior and Guardian have been bumped up to B tier. This means what does this mean? It's not just like, hey, we want to move them up. No, they did higher and higher keys. This is what it is.
People got used to them. Everybody has their best gear right now. Everybody's like getting better and better at playing them and realizing that even if you're a warrior or a bear at the bottom of the tier list, the bottom of the tier list is just the average of the tier list because it's really good. It's a really good time to be a tank. Tanks are incredibly well balanced, at least in Mythic Plus, and just pick what you like, man. You're gonna have a lot of fun.
Yeah, you know who else has a lot of fun?
Our Patreons, baby! Thank you for supporting the content.
Thank you.
We're both super happy that you're enjoying the content, the tier list, the guides, the on cooldown piece, the opinion pieces, and soon to come more content as well as the streams. Everything you're supporting is basically properly increase with quality and gear and stuff,
and pacing as well, because you guys support it. If you're watching this and seeing all these Patreon things that we do here, because we are so grateful, you can check the information in the description. Different tiers over there, different rewards and all of that. Check them out for yourself. If there's anything that sings to you, la la la, just click it and become a Patreon. Join the family. Come on, it's cool. It's nice here. We sometimes have cookies.
Yeah.
That being said, thank you for watching today's TLF,
and see you next time.
Have a great weekend, okay? Bye. Bye.
I've been loving it then, I still love it now. Still, I play WoW. Still, I play WoW. Getting better every day, let me show you how. Cause still, I play WoW. Still, I play WoW. It's getting harder to stay, but at the end of the day, it's a guilty pleasure, so just log in and play. Whether it's classic or retail, I'ma do a /bow. Still, I play WoW.